What is up, people? It is I, Sergeant 16-Bit. Well, after the video I made about my casting choices for the new Sonic movie, I'm still in a bit of a Sonic mood. So how about we play, Sonic 1? Yeah, that's always a solid idea. Just grab us a Genesis, or Mega Drive, grab us the game, and here we go! Strange, I remember the Sega chime being a bit clearer. But Sonic skipping around is a nice touch. Excuse me? Shenanigans! I call shenanigans!
Why, hello there, Sergeant 16-Bit!
Jeez, how do you guys keep popping out of my games? Or, in this case, my DVDs?
Silence! I, the ingenious Dr. Ivo Robotnik, have hit your Sega Genesis, as well as your copy of that game revolving around that miserable Hedgehog, with my Downgradatron ray gun. I made it out of unsold SG-1000 consoles.
Must have been more than enough, considering the release of the Famicom.
In any case, looks like you'll be playing this version of the game instead.
And if I just play this on Sonic Mega Collection instead?
I'll blow up the only pizza place that's within walking distance of your house.
You sick bastard!
Well, get to playing!
Well guys, looks like we're playing Sonic 1 on the Game Gear.
Also released on Master System!
Whatever. The 8-bit version of Sonic the Hedgehog was released on the Master System 4 months after the original, and on the Game Gear a couple months after that. Yep, Sega's been giving Sonic multi-console releases since the beginning. Since the Master System wasn't very successful compared to the NES, we're gonna focus on the Game Gear version. The Game Gear, aside from its short battery life and non-pocket-friendly size, was pretty neat for its time. Unlike the Game Boy, it had color and a backlit screen. Despite its advances, it was still an 8-bit system. And despite this game being an adaptation of the original, it was actually developed by Ancient. Does Sonic translate well to 8-bit? Can the then-new gaming company capture the essence of the game Sonic Team created? Let's find out! Well, I'll give it this, it's nice to have an overhead view of South Island. Much like the original game, Sonic begins his adventure in, where else, good old Green Hill in all his Hedgehog glory, but something seems a bit off.
Look! No nose! No nose! No nose!
Act 1 features all the rolling hills, checkered dirt, and naturally occurring metal spikes that we've come to expect, but strangely, no loop-de-loops. Sure, they haven't been fully established as a staple tradition of the franchise yet, but it feels kinda weird without them. I long for my loop-de-loops. Act 2 has a slow as tar water maze. Isn't it kinda early to have the labyrinth zone? At least the difficulty was watered down. Act 3, like the first game, features the boss, except there isn't much of a level to go with it. Let's check out the boss, though. Hey! You can dance to this boss theme! Alright, Robotnik, let's dance. Well, that was easy. Onward to the bridge zone! Say, does this song sound familiar to you? This level is full of bottomless pits. But unlike Green Hill, they forgot the warning signs, which wouldn't be so problematic in a speed-focused platformer if the screen resolution wasn't so low. The falling platforms in this level create so many moving objects that it slows the game down to a crawl. Suddenly having an 8-bit Sonic isn't sounding so good of an idea. The boss for the bridge zone isn't too difficult if you duck the bullets. But I was feeling particularly tense dodging them due to one nagging factor. The third acts of each zone have no rings! They have a brief platforming section and a hidden one-up that only works once, but no rings. Now, it isn't so bad on these first 2 bosses, but trust me, it gets worse. Speaking of rings, when you get hit, you can't recollect them. Swell! The Jungle Zone's primary mechanic is climbing. Yeah, just what Sonic was always known for. Some of these platforms were pretty tiny, and that can be pretty tricky with Sonic's relatively slippery controls. Now we come to the point where the no rings thing on Act 3 becomes a problem. You see this boss? See this ball he drops? Notice how it rolls from side to side on a slope that you roll on as well. Notice how bouncing off of Robotnik can often send you crashing into the ball. Yeah, that wouldn't be so bad if I had any rings. 1 hit and you're dead. The screen resolution doesn't help either. Claustrophobic conditions, slippery controls, no buffer, and temperamental ricochets make for one broken fight. Even in the final zone, which had no rings, Sonic had a flat surface and plenty of room to move. The challenge came from staying alert of the giant columns and observing the movement patterns of the lightning balls. This battle, which comes at the halfway point of the game, demonstrates not just a spike in the difficulty curve, but also level design that works against the in-game physics. Even with 2 extra sets of lives, Via continues, there was no conceivable way I could get past this one without save states. But why waste any more time with this when I could just play the original? This game is essentially Diet Sonic the Hedgehog. I appreciate its attempt to distance itself from the original with its own exclusive levels, but its slow gameplay, subpar level design, neutered mechanics, and broken boss fights make it all too skippable. Thank goodness Ancient went on to make better things, and that the later Sonic titles for Game Gear were better. So, Robotnik, are you gonna change my stuff back or what?
Let me think about it. No!
That's fine. I already had this re-upgradifier built anyway.
Don't you care about your precious pizza place?
Yeah, I just got a call that a robotic chicken and a spiky green tumor were planting licorice around the building.
That was supposed to be dynamite! I'll scrap those nincompops for this.
Oh, and just so you don't get any ideas about bugging me again, I had one of my connections upload some malware to your network.
Malware?
There's something missing. Something.
Ah!
Well, now that that's over with, I'm gonna go get me some pizza. I'm Sergeant 16-Bit. Bye-bye.
I hate that sergeant!
Hey guys, this is Sarge. If you liked what you saw, like, comment, and subscribe. And while you're at it, hop on over to my Deviantart, check out my stuff, and maybe consider buying a commission or 2 from me. Otherwise, you can stay right here on YouTube, check out some of my past reviews, some of my Let's Play videos, or even check out my speed paint videos. But for now, just stay tuned for the blooper reel. This is Sergeant 16-Bit. Take care, everybody. What is up, people? It is I. Oh, for God's sake! Well, after the video I made about me... Bleh. And if I just play this on Sonic Mega... And if I just play this on Sonic Mega Collect... The original 8-bits... Yep, Sonic has been giving... Yep, Sega has been getting... Yep, Sega has been giving Sonic Sega has been giving Sonic multi-console releases since the beginning. Yep, Sega's been giving Sonic multi-console Frigidoodle. Frigidoodle. Yep, Cigar. 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 Close but no cigar. Blech. The Game Gear, aside from its short battery life and... Battery life? What? The Game Gear, aside from its short battery life and non-pocket friendly size, was pretty neat for Foovy-doo. Who? The Game Gear, aside from its short battery life and... That one... Alright, Robotnik. Let's dance. Oh, God.